What is good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bit of a serious topic because I haven't seen many people talk about this on YouTube, on the fashion YouTube world specifically, and in the men's realm. I don't know if women talk about it. The beauty gurus and all them probably talked about it, but in the men's fashion world specifically, I've always wanted to kind of talk about this with you guys, and that is how I get thousands of dollars worth of clothes for free. Now, before I get started, I will not be naming any specific names because I want to keep everything disclosed with those companies because that is just between me and them. But I want to tell you guys some few things about like paid offerings to put on clothes and that kind of stuff throughout the video. But to get started, we're just going to talk about how I acquire all these clothes. As a YouTuber, I have an audience that likes what I like to wear. So when I promote something in my videos, most of the time it gets you to engage and to go and look at the different items and maybe purchase them if you're able to. For that, a company sees that as an opportunity to put their product in front of that audience if it's in that specific market, and then they can sell it to them so it helps their brand out. There's a few different ways that this goes down. So one is like a paid sponsorship. Now that means that a company is going to be paying you to be wearing or just to be advertising their product in your video, which you have to disclose in that video if you're going to do it. But I have not physically taken any clothing in for any amount of money because the way that my mind works when it comes to this is I have such a strong influence. This video is probably going to be seen by 50 to 60,000 people. That's how many people see each of my videos, and with that I have to push my influence out, and so I don't want to push anything out that I don't really mess with. Now, there have been times in videos where there's products after the fact of me filming and doing videos on where things go wrong, where the quality isn't as good as I expected after time, and if something like that happens, I typically just won't promote that specific company in the video anymore. But that really doesn't happen often because I honestly don't take on a lot of different companies sending me clothes just because I like to stick to the things that I like. I'm gonna break it down a little bit with examples, but there are some times where I'll go ahead and buy a product from a company and then I'll go ahead and promote it in a video when I actually pay for it, and then that company will reach out to me and say, hey, look, we had a lot of people come to us and say they found us through your product, so we want to see maybe we can send you some stuff out to put in future videos. And that's not offering to pay or anything. That's just saying if you really like our brand, if you're willing to pay for it, then why not let us send you a few products out and then you can promote them in your videos, and it's a win-win because I get the clothing as well as they get the exposure to my audience. This is most of the time what I'm most comfortable promoting to my audience because it's an organic thing where I genuinely buy the product and I really like it, and then either I can reach out to the company, which I often don't do too much, or they'll reach out to me and say, hey, we'd love to have you feature more of our clothes in a video. One thing as a YouTuber that I want to let you guys know, so I have a business email and I get a ton of emails. I probably get 10 to 15 emails a day of companies reaching out and trying to get products promoted on my channel, which isn't a bad thing because it is exposure for me. It's showing me that I have an audience that people want to put their stuff in front of, but a lot of times I'll get a lot of random stuff that people want to see and put in my videos that have nothing to do with my audience, which, I mean, I feel like if you were a company that saw that, you would understand that it wouldn't really mesh well with my actual, like, brand of me and my channel. So like one example I can use, which I've gotten hundreds of and a bunch of different YouTubers have gotten it too, is some companies want me to put fake Yeezys in my videos and kind of talk about them as being like a good fake, not saying they're real, but like showing them off as a fake that's really good that they can buy for a cheaper price than the actual Yeezy. Now, I think I got a lot of those emails because I do have a video on how to tell if Yeezys are real or fake, and so I can understand why those different companies are reaching out. But then it gets into the realm of like, I've gotten things from like vacuums or just like very random stuff that I just never would put in a video, like even if I get paid. And a lot of the times I've gotten emails where companies have said, here's our product. It'll be like a random, like a vacuum is just a random example, and then they'll say you can pay for the product and we'll give you a 10% discount and then you can put it in your video. And I'm like, oh, I just don't even respond at that point because I'm like, that you're just offering me a 10% discount. I don't really understand. And I mean, when I say that, I wouldn't take money to promote a vacuum. It's like, I mean, if a company offered me $1 million in a check right now to promote a vacuum, I would take it, and I think you guys might understand. I probably wouldn't be able to disclose how much money I made, but I mean, I think you guys might understand. But back to the clothing, when I started, I was getting reached out by companies around like 5,000 subscribers, even when I was small. So that gives you guys hope. Like if you want to be a YouTuber and you want to do fashion stuff, you can have the opportunities to get reached out by companies to promote their stuff, even at a small number. You see, I'm at a pretty big number right now, way bigger than what I was when I started getting certain companies reaching out to me, and I have more opportunities. But it's kind of a thing where you have a reputation to withhold, so you don't accept a lot. It's I don't want to like give away too much because there are a lot of specifics like that with companies that don't want to know about like what is being sent out and that kind of thing. But it just gets to the point where, like, for me personally, I don't want to take on 100 different companies that are sending me stuff every week. Yes, that'd be great to have all those clothes, but I probably won't like all the clothes, as well as I have to promote those on my videos, which I don't want to risk it being a bad promotion where that company's going to scam people, because that has happened in the past too, where different YouTubers or different people have promoted a brand and they ended up being a scam. And that's something you don't want to do to your audience, because then you lose that genuine connection and that trust. And that's a big thing that we have over YouTube, is that trust factor. Because when you look at like somebody like me, I'm not saying I'm a huge celebrity, or you look at a huge celebrity who's going to post on Instagram where they don't connect with their viewers, they're not necessarily like on like I'm a normal person, like I'm just like any of you viewers, but a lot of people look at celebrities as they're above them, and some of them think of themselves as above people. And so when they promote like a shirt, yeah, it'll sell, but it's not like a genuine connection. But when I tell you guys about a shirt, you guys are like, oh, I trust him because he's had all these clothes, he's worn all these different things, and he's gonna trust the quality, so I'm gonna trust him and I'll put my money into that. When I was a really small YouTuber, I would reach out to companies and email them and ask them for possible clothing in exchange for like a video promotion. And the reason I did that is because for me, it's content, and if I wanted to go out and buy a bunch of those clothes, that's a lot of money to put into a video that won't make that money back. And so when I would reach out to them, it's kind of like a win-win situation. Like I said before, I get clothing and they get promotion, even when I'm smaller. But like I've said before, once you grow and once you build up that trust and you build that audience, you have to realize as a YouTuber that you're pushing out all this trust to your audience. For me, it's to 165,000 people. And so I have to ensure that whatever I'm pushing out, I trust in the quality, I trust that you're not gonna get scammed, you're not gonna lose money, and that's gonna be on my shoulders that if that goes wrong. And so that's why you wanna be safe, and that's why I don't take on hundreds of companies every day. But like the title says, there are thousands of dollars worth of the clothes that are available from me at my reach that I can possibly put in my videos, and it is beneficial to both parties. And even like if I don't take money, it's beneficial to me because I get clothes, I get to try new things, as well as like I get different types of clothes. Like all the time, you don't want the same clothes, so it's good for me to get different clothing, as well as if I like it, to promote it to you guys, because it's exposing you guys to a new company, to new clothing, maybe at a better price, maybe a little bit better quality, and those different aspects. Basically, that is my rant slash discussion. I hope that was a little bit of insight. If you guys want more insight on stuff like this, let me know, because I'm willing to kind of talk about this stuff with you. I just want to be open and transparent with you guys and kind of break you through the process, because I know that's one of the things that I think is a little bit more quieted down on YouTube, because of course it's a thing and a lot of different companies do different brand promotions and a lot of you guys know about it, but I think it's nice to give you guys that insight from a YouTuber like me. I think that builds the trust up between us even more, because you guys are knowing about the processes and what happens. I just cut up this video and I wanted to come on here and give you guys a little bit of advice afterwards, because I felt I didn't talk enough about how you guys could do this and how to reach out to companies if you wanted to do it yourself, if you were aspiring to make your own channel. As well as I realized that the video didn't have like jumps everywhere, like pictures coming in, logos coming in and all that throughout the video. It's just like a discussion based video, and I hope you guys don't mind that style of video, because I don't mind doing the other videos. I like having different things throwing in and out because I think it just adds to it. But this video specifically just didn't really have anything that I needed to do that, because I'm not talking about companies, I'm not talking about price points or anything like that. The one biggest piece of advice that I could give you guys when it comes to reaching out to companies, let's say you have 1,000 followers on Instagram or you have a few thousand subscribers on YouTube, would be to be professional. Because when you're reaching out to a company, you don't want to say, hey, I want free clothes, send me everything you've got. You want to be professional. You have to let the company know that they can benefit from you getting the products and pushing them out to your followers. You can't just be like, I want free clothes. Like I see people comment all the time saying like, I want free clothes, why can't I get free clothes? You have to show the company that you can benefit them. They don't want to just send out free clothes to everybody because they want consumers to buy it. But if you have an online presence or you have some sort of following, you could benefit them by pushing out their product to the followers, and then that in turn helps them, and then it helps you with getting clothes. Like I said about that beneficial thing earlier, like it's content for me when I get clothes. Also, if you're doing videos on fashion and whatnot, don't do it with the intentions of going into it for free clothing or money, because it's just not going to work out like that. When I started, I used all the clothes that I had and just talked about those clothes until it got to the point where I could ask companies to send me stuff out. Now, I had to spend a lot of money. I still spent a ton of money on clothes. It's not like I get everything that I wear for free. I spend a ton of money on clothes for videos, and that's because there's clothing that I want to share with you guys, as well as clothing that I still actually want. There are many different ways you can contact these companies to reach out to them and to possibly get product, and that would be through their email on their website. That's the most professional way, because you're typing out an email rather than maybe saying like an Instagram direct message, because I've tried that before and it usually doesn't really get to those companies when you do a direct message like that. But I would say definitely reach out to their email, because most of the time they check that and we'll get back to you. Now we can cut back over to the video and do the actual outro because I had to cut in the middle of this, so let's go. If you enjoyed this video and you liked the insight, leave a like down below and subscribe here if you're new. I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Harrison, signing out.
My coffee in my mason jar. We so fortunate we got this far. And I just wanna go far to the sky, but I don't even know